Alright guys, hopefully you liked the video, the first episode of the Integra. So after reading the comments, and some of the people seem to think the paint is perfect, the engine is perfect, don't change a thing. We thought about it and we actually agree. So we're just going to go ahead and leave it alone. And that's it. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the series, even though there was only one. And the Integra's done. So we'll catch you on the next video. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Of course we're kidding. We're taking it apart. Keep watching. Some of the areas of concern. This is the UK gauge cluster. I mentioned that in the last video, but I put this in a long time ago. It's the UK Type R cluster. It's actually in miles an hour, despite most people think UK is in kilometers. Their speedos are still in miles, however, half the people talking kilometers there. Anyway, so it's got the 10,000 RPM, red lines at 85, 170 mile an hour speedo. This wheel is a perfect wheel, but I plan to take this off with the hub adapter, sell it, and replace it with a JDM wheel. That's what I had on my yellow Type R that I like. So if this is something you're interested in, contact me for this. I'll show you more of it when it's in the daylight. This will be sold. This is an aftermarket shifter, and it's sloppy. It's got a bunch of flop. It could be in the linkage, could be in the shifter, but I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that. Something I've done over the years on B-Series. Change the linkage, put a brand new OEM linkage in there out of a Type R, put a GSR shifter in there, I'll show you. But it tightens this, so it makes it feel a whole lot better. It's got an airbag delete. Not sure what we're going to do with that yet. I think we might have an airbag. If we do, might replace the airbag, because the Japanese wheel will have an airbag. Not a big deal. This obviously has to look right. This looks clean over here, not a big deal. Door panels are GSR door panels. The only difference is the Type R has the fabric in here. It's kind of like a black tweed. Door panels are mint condition, so that might get rewrapped. I might take those apart and send them out and get it wrapped, just so it has the Type R look. Or if I can find some Type R door panels, but I don't know. These are mint condition, and most of them show damage along here. And these don't. These are in really good shape, so we'll see. Kind of playing it by ear. Has the aftermarket tweeter in here, so might keep these together. Of course, this is the Integra piece. The customer actually purchased this for the surround, so I will change that just so that matches this part. The Type R used to have this in the fake carbon fiber, which I don't know if it comes along and it's cheap, I might get it. For some reason they decided not to do it with that one, which kind of looks kind of funky. I don't know why they didn't do that, just so it matches this, but hey, that might be something that gets changed. Who knows? So I know a lot of people are going to ask about the engine. What engine are you going to put in it? What are you going to do? How much horsepower is it? Is it going to make 900 horsepower? Is it going to be all-wheel drive? Is it going to go drag racing? No. It's not going to be a ton of power. It's going to be a street motor, which means, you know, more power than what it's got right now, but we're not looking at making a ton of power. B-Series, K-Series, H-Series, you're just going to have to stay tuned in for that and see what our plans are. It's going to be keeping the creature comforts. It's going to have air conditioning, as you see, power steering, ABS. This engine bay is going to get painted to match the rest of the car. This car was originally black, so the engine bay is black. You can go ahead and add in the comments what color you think this Integra should be. These wheels have new tires, but those wheels are going to get refinished. So if you look here, you can see somebody has stretched the fender right here. It's kind of got a crease there, if I get just right. You see that? Someone's done a roll on the fender and, you know, just badly damaged it, so that's gonna have to be addressed when Superior do the paint. Already talked to them about that. The body line is good all the way down it, so it's nice and straight. Another damaged spot that I noticed, and I think this is when he had the distributor changed. You see there, right where that light is, it actually bumps up there. I think somebody left a tool on there and slammed the hood. There, you see that? Kind of hard to see on camera. But yeah, it's dented upwards. Somebody left a wrench or something, you can kind of see it there. There you go, perfect. So that dents outwards. Maybe a PDR guy can tap that down a little bit, but of course the car's getting painted, so they will take care of that. These hood shocks, these was originally from my yellow Type R a long time ago. And as you see, they hold the hood up, you give the hood a quick bump and it falls down on you. So those things are probably no good. They might be good for a carbon fiber hood because there isn't as much weight on a carbon hood, so that might be something that could be transferred over to somebody else, but they're probably not going to go back on this car because this hood is going to stay steel. I don't want to put a carbon fiber hood on this car. So let's get it up in the air. Let's start taking it apart. So as you see, this is the radiator drain right here, and it's just basically a bolt in a hole. So when you take that off, you end up with a avalanche of water. And if you take it off little by little, which I did, it just kind of drips, then it stops. So we're going to try and put a fitting in there. As you see, I've took it almost all the way out, and 2 more threads is going to fall out on the floor. So we're going to put a fitting in here so we can drain it and hopefully not have 12 gallons of coolant all over the floor. I don't want to film it because I don't want to get the camera ruined, but we've now got it down to somewhat of a controlled dribble. Alright, so here's the teen hood shocks. They're off. All the parts came with them, and yes, these are the ones that I put on my yellow Type R original. So if these are something you're interested in, any of the stuff that comes off, if I tell you I'm not going to use it, if it's something you're interested in, hit me up. I'll sell you, I'll make you a deal. I need to offset some of the cost for the stuff I'm putting on it. So if that's something you're interested in, or any of the other stuff, I won't try and plug every piece. But if I take it off and we say this isn't going to go back on, just hit us up. All the clips are here. Whatever we take off, we'll try and keep complete and make it useful. So hit me up. All right, I'll keep plugging stuff. So as you see, things are coming apart now. There is a big hole in the front where a radiator used to go. We're taking the wiring harness out. I don't want to show you all of this because it's pretty simple taking a motor out of a B-series. It really is. Anybody want that? That's expanded too much. What's this going to? Nice. Make a good headband. So engine comes out, mounts come out. It fits perfect. It really does. I thought he was going to have to. The sweat out of my eye and everything. I thought he was going to have to stretch it, but you don't need to do a thing. Yeah, all this harness is going to come out. Obviously, once this engine comes out, we'll have to take the ABS lines out, all these brackets and everything, so we can access this. We'll clean it up a little bit. This is a little beat up. It's got little dents and scratches in it. I want to try and fix some of this before I take it to the body shop, because if not, if they do all kinds of extra body work here, they're going to charge for it. So if we can get some of it addressed ahead of time and fix some of this down here, not a big deal. It'll just save us a little time. What sucks is, we see this a lot. This really sucks. There's a siren put on there, but as you see, it used to be there over the VIN number. Why would somebody do that? Just screw right over the VIN number. So there's a couple of usable threaded holes there. Somebody could have used that plug there. There's a threaded hole behind there. No, let's put it there and put 2 sheet metal screws through the firewall. What a great idea. So probably have to address some of that too. We'll kind of cross that bridge as we come to it. This is a header we made a few years ago. We'll take this off and show you it. We're not going to use this. This will be available. It's a 4-into-1 with a Burns collector. Again, I don't know how long ago, maybe eight years ago it was made. We'll take that off and show you it. Make sure you take this out before pulling your axles and plan your trajectory so it doesn't go all over your floor. This is your transmission fluid, by the way. Good shape, look at that. Nobody's been misshifting this one. So the axles are still perfect. We had these built by Gator a few years ago. So it's got a little bit of surface rust on it, but the boots are still in good shape and there is no slop in the axle, so we'll definitely be using those again. All right. Artistic film work. Now if you turn your back, yeah, I'll get that. If you turn your back, that thing will drop on your head. Yeah. But if you don't want it to come down, it won't drop down. It'll stay there nice and secure. Shifter. Shifter. Does it feel like it's steel? It does, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, are you sure those are the right nuts? Okay, so this is the header. This one's a super fancy Burns collector. So this has 202 bungs. This is for an EG, but obviously it don't fit a DC2. If it's a DC2, you're going to use that one. But we made this a few years ago. It runs a CNC flange. You see it's got the flange with the relief here. You know, that's even got our name on the flange. You see that? So this is, it's got a little bit of flattening down there. It's not too bad. It's a little flattened. Obviously didn't affect flow. It made 200 horsepower. Probably good for 220, 230 horsepower. So small tube header is going to be good for torque, as you saw. Car made a decent amount of torque. Can you see me? So if this is something you want, let me know. You know, it's 4:21 and we can usually set our phone by Bruce. Actually, sorry. It's 4:19 according to my phone. And we have packages and he's not here. Bruce is usually on the money, is on time. So this is the cross brace and it is a genuine Type R piece. However, it's kind of rusted. It needs to be refinished. So this is clear coated and that sticker is over it and the sticker is messed up. It sucks because I don't know if you buy that sticker. So we'll probably refinish that bar and clean it, sand it, re-clear it, refinish this kind of in the gunmetal. I'm not sure. I don't know if we're going to reuse that or not. Okay, so in a perfect world, we're going to press the up button, the car will go up, and the motor will be sitting nice and safely on a little roll-around stand. In a perfect world. So we took all the mount bolts out, the engine's sitting there, we're going to kind of rock it around and move it and wiggle it and pull it and hey, we'll see.
Bump it again and then try and swing that in forward, get the traction out. Yeah.
Famous T-bracket. This is the famous T-bracket. Yeah. Nothing more. Should be good, just go.
Good? Good?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's not enough for the whole engine.
Yeah. Okay.
Look at that. It's that easy. It took us 10 minutes. There it is. Seemed like yesterday this was making power on the dyno. So All of this has to come off, all of that junk in the engine bay, all those lines and hoses. Suspension will leave together. There's Bruce. What time is it?
4:30.
He is late. You know, we used to set our clock by you. I'm gonna have to adjust my clock.
Yeah, it's a, you gotta set it forward.
You're running behind? Now what, go down? It's not too bad of a mess.
Try that AC compressor up too for a hurdle line.
Yeah, exactly. Look at all that mess. It will fit.
That was a lot of work.
Oh, it would fit, but it's not worth it fitting. Anything is doable.
Throw enough money at it.
That's right. Money will fix anything until you run out.
That's why you hopefully you get it to fit before the money.
Does it show any cracks?
Yeah, it looks like the center might be coming out, but the rubber itself is still in. See the
okay,
center?
yeah, okay. Yeah, because it felt, we put mounts in this, I don't know, when we put the motor in, and the engine had like a little bit of a movement, you know, when you're torque it, the engine goes like this, you could feel it in the shifter. And one mount is broken, and there is obviously another one that is sketchy. How's that one look? It's fine. Yeah, that one's good. And this one,
More than likely fine, because there's nothing wet around it.
yeah, these are fluid filled, so if they're not wet, these are good. So replace that mount there, replace the mount under there, and I think that mount under that side, it was good. So a few little interesting things I found searching. These moldings are usually ruined on these cars, and they're not available separate, so the only way you can fix it is to go with an aftermarket seal. And as you see, these are being kind of pried out to paint, and then you can see some glue in there. It's being glued back and hasn't worked very good because it's got a step here. And again, when you're doing a new paint job, you want it to be nice. This is no good. Well, in my opinion, again, not trying to, you know, I'm not going to explain myself. I can't deal with this. This doesn't look good. These have been replaced. These are still in perfect shape. The rubber around here, again, it's original. It's not split, but it looks kind of old. And this is the inner rail where the glass rubs. When this gets old, the glass rattles like I talked about. This is all one piece of rubber. I'm going to replace that. It comes with this here. I just pulled this up, and again, it's not split, but I'm thinking of replacing this with brand new rubber because it will make a difference. So make sure my camera's focused. I don't know if you can see what I'm talking about here. So you can see here, it's not horrible, but it's not perfect. These were replaced when the roof was done. We just pulled these out to check them. They come out with this kind of like a bayonet style fit, and it just slides forward and comes out. These are in really good shape. These can be cleaned and reused. The roof is black. I planned this to be the same color again. I want the car to be the same color. I don't want to have them mismatched. Again, it looks pretty good in black, but it's not what I'm looking for, so that's going to get replaced. This seal on the sunroof is pretty good. Unless it's cheap, I'm going to replace it. If this is like a $25 seal, I'll replace it. If it's a $120 seal, it's going to stay. So we just talked about this, and George says, hey, why don't you put an RS skin in there, which would replace the sunroof? Well, here's my take on this car. I don't want to try and make it a wannabe car, which means I don't want to make it, hey, look, it's a Type R. It looks just like a Type R. I want to go for what I like the look of. In my opinion, the Japanese front end just looks better than the regular front end. The front end on the US is starting to get pretty popular because everybody swapped to the Japanese front. But I never liked that front end. I never was a big fan. I do like this wing on the car. When you take the wing off, these kind of look a little plain. They almost look like an Accord. So I do like the wing. This is my favorite wheel. Definitely. I have Volks on my yellow Integra, but I really like these wheels. I actually had these wheels on my yellow car, and for some reason they didn't look right. I don't know if it was the color, it was the yellow and that color. They didn't look right, so they came off and the Volks went back on. The door panels, I think I want to do the Type R inner just because I want it to match these seats. That's just, again, what I want to do. The windshield has a chip in it right here, and there's another chip, and this is an aftermarket seal, and as you see, it's all floppy. Well, there you go. It's definitely floppy. It just came right out of my fingers. Yeah, you could probably replace this, but I'm kind of picky when it comes to paint jobs. To do it right, the windshield really needs to come out. The paint needs to be painted all the way around. Put a new Honda seal on here to do it right. The belt moldings are in really good shape. I think they were done new when we did the paint job the first time. The underneath of the hood is black. That might have been the color of the JDM front when it came. Again, that has to be color matched. When you open the hood, I want this to represent this. I want it to look like a factory setup. It's just, again, the way I do things. And again, it's going to be cheaper to leave this black, of course, but again, I'm not going to own this car forever. I want to plan to keep it, but down the road, if I do decide to sell it, the type of person that thinks like me is going to want this to match that, to match this. I know there's a lot of people that have that kind of style, so I'm catering it long term to those kind of people that think like me. I'm kind of OCD, you know that. These JDM headlights, I'll see if I can refinish these. They're in pretty good shape, but they've got like a little bit of a white look to them. I don't think they've been polished in a while. We'll try that, polish them, see if they will come up. The JDM front is in real good shape. There is some chipping right here. That grille should come out, I think. Actually, no, it's all molded on these. The lip is in good shape. It's an OEM lip. It's got some cracking along there. It looks like it might have bumped something. This is an OEM lip, I remember, and an OEM bumper. All this all fits in the car pretty good, so again, that's a bonus because that's pretty expensive stuff. This suspension is good. It's ground control. It's got the drop hats. It's got they look like AGX suspension if I remember, and ground control coilovers. Yep. And it's got skunk adjustable upper control arms. That's all good stuff. I'll take it apart if everything's good. We're going to refinish the brakes. This is the Japanese Integra Type R brakes. So as you see, the calipers are massive. It's got the bigger rotors. Obviously it's been sitting a while. It's got the mark of the pad. I don't know, I'll check these if they haven't been turned. I can't tell if there's a step here. If they haven't been turned, I might recondition these and keep them if they've got any kind of use on them. I don't like to return rotors. If they've been turned once, in my opinion, don't turn them again. All this we'll take apart, clean it, refinish it. This fender liner is all got tire rub on it. It's all trashed. That needs to be replaced. The floor mats, the whatever those things are called. What are these called? Help me out. Mud flaps are in good shape. Got factory screws holding them on. This light is good. It's got a scratch in there. It's next to the lettering. Might be able to wet sand that and polish that back out. Again, I don't want to nitpick the car, but I want it to be right without going, without going stupid. So the engine, again, you saw it. It's in good shape. I think originally when I tuned it with 15-inch wheels, I have a dyno sheet somewhere. I think it made like 215 to the wheels. So I think with 15-inch wheels, this would probably do close to that right now. It hasn't been tuned in a while. As you saw, the distributor had been altered, so it wasn't in perfect time. But who knows, over time, maybe it could use adjustment. Everything is clean. That is a ported intake manifold. Yeah, we actually cut that open and ported the runners, and you see the weld here. This was cut, so there's not a lot of power to be gained in here. There is a little bit. These are S2000 injectors, so a little bit more fuel capacity. Not teasing it, not really decided what we're going to do. We're not going to say it right now because I don't know. I don't know if we're going to reuse this engine, rebuild it, make more power. I don't know if we're going to turbocharge it. Don't know if I'm going to put a K-Series in there yet. Not sure. So I'm not teasing it. Just haven't really made up my mind. I don't know. I like K-Series, makes a ton of power, but the B-Series in the Civic and the Integra, it just looks at home. I just love the way this engine looks. I really do. Plus, before I owned a Honda, I used to see that engine in the magazines and the brochures and go, one day I'm gonna have one of those. So all this has to come out. There's a lot of stuff here. All has to be bagged and documented so everything goes back and we know where all the parts are. So that's the end of this episode. We'll take over taking this stuff out and showing you what we're doing. Just want to kind of give you an update of what's going on and hope you're enjoying it. So that's it for now.